Well, it's an excuse to go out in the bush for hours at a time. It's the experience of looking for them, and then the excitement you feel when you find them, the satisfaction you get out of having found them, and then bringing something abundant back home. I've been interested in mushrooms since I was a kid. Something about the mystery of them. Are they going to be there? Are they not? I remember being interested in mushrooms from seeing them in little fairy tale books when I was really little. Something about them attracted me. It's interesting, mushrooms are so famous for being poisonous or dangerous, and I'm told by people who know better than me that there are far more dangerous green plants in the forest than there are dangerous mushrooms. There's actually very few mushrooms that will kill you. We joke that there's a lot of mushrooms that'll make you wish you were dead for a couple of days. You can't have a bad day mushroom picking because it's just a walk in the forest. Some people call it an Easter egg hunt for adults. It's very much like that, you know. You don't know what you're going to get, and you're so excited when you find something, especially when it's what you're looking for. My real favorite mushroom is this one here, which is called, in Japanese, I'm told it's called the kurotake, and it's an unusual fungus. It doesn't have gills, and it doesn't really have pores either. It's white throughout. But it grows in the same environment as pine mushrooms, these ones that are really sought after. The ones that I've been finding are quite old. It's late in the season. They still smell nice and they still taste pretty good, so I'll take them. These ones are very, very bitter, and you slice them up and soak them in salty water and brine, and then you cook them. And they turn black, but they have a very unique bitter taste, like coffee maybe. It's not like coffee, but I mean as coffee has its own unique bitter flavor that we like. This mushroom has a very unique bitter flavor that some of us like. I really like it. It's one of my favorite mushrooms. It's probably my favorite mushroom to eat. There's a lot of mystery to it because they're hard to identify. They're hard to know exactly which mushroom you've got. People like to gather together and learn from each other. There's a secretive element to mushroom picking. People don't want to tell each other where their patches are because they don't come back over and over again. They come out, you know, once or twice a season. Since the internet exploded, now it's very easy to find other people. So there's a lot of identification forums on Facebook. People gather around and share knowledge. No, then there's the whole mystery of the mushrooms that have psychoactive effects. People are generally fascinated by that sort of a thing, although you'll find in the mushroom community, it's generally people looking for mushrooms to eat for food, not so much the other uses. Right here. That's beyond sale value, but it's still a pretty nice edible mushroom. I've been cooking with mushrooms since I first started picking them. When I first started picking shaggy manes and other really easy to identify mushrooms. I've always been a cook, so it was a natural thing to do, to be interested in cooking mushrooms. The best way to see if you like a mushroom is just to cook it in some really simple way. Cook it in butter and eat it with white rice. That's going to show off the mushroom to the maximum effect. It depends on the mushroom. There's a lot of different ways to prepare mushrooms. It is important to cook them. It is easy to get food poisoning from mushrooms. A lot of people, I think they got sick from a mushroom species when it was just the fact that they ate way too much and they couldn't handle, their stomach couldn't handle that much new food. They have an individual allergy to it, or they don't cook them enough and they get food poisoning from them because they do go off. and the ones you picked would have parts of them that are gone off. I think that's the easiest way to get sick from them. But cooking with them, it really depends. Pine mushroom goes well with a lot of Asian flavors like ginger and tamari, whereas other mushrooms, you just want to add salt and leave them alone. I find lobster mushrooms go really well with pineapple for some reason. You generally fry them a bit and then sometimes braise them a little bit as well in tamari or something like that. I think actually my favorite way to use mushrooms, especially these days, is to make dried powders out of them and add them to all kinds of things, to soups and stews, toss them with roasted vegetables before they're roasted, and that really adds a depth and a richness of flavor that you usually only get from meat. But there's really no limit. Well, the nice thing about mushroom picking is it's really peaceful. You're hunting, but you're not killing. Mushrooms are just the fruit of the organism. You could say they want to be picked. That's why they fruit. That's how they spread. So picking up a mushroom and walking around with it is really what that mushroom wants you to do. So it's nice in that respect that you feel like you're hunting for something, but it's a very gentle hunt. Kind of a pretty mushroom. Always has this yellow foot, and it has a fun name. This is a Gomphidius. And we remember it by saying it's the Hideous Gomphidius. It's not that hideous, I think they're very pretty. You have to be aware of where you are in the forest, what's all around you, because mushrooms are very specific in their environments. So you're looking for places that are the right humidity, but you're also looking for places that have the right trees for the mushroom you're looking for. And you've got to be really in tune with even the way the ground looks. The pine mushroom often doesn't push up through the moss. You've got to spot it just as a lump. I often find pine mushrooms through smell. I smell them before I see them. So you're really tuned into your senses and your environment. You're in sync with that environment. Like I say, you're hunting, but you're not hunting to kill. You're hunting just to be in sync with and find. So that's a very different feeling. You can really relax and you move very, very slowly. Sometimes you're on your hands and knees feeling around in the moss for them. So you're watching the weather all the time and you're hoping for rain. And as soon as it rains, you're getting out there and trying to find the moist spots where mushrooms might be growing. And then there's the excitement when you find them. I find that looking for mushrooms is the best way to feel connected to nature.